This is a diminished chord, C diminished. It's just like a minor chord, but with the 5th degree lowered or diminished by a semitone. And we can label it either with a little degree mark like this, or simply by writing the word dim next to it. Now, as you can hear, the diminished chord is almost an inherently dissonant sound. Particularly when we hear it in isolation like this, it's quite hard to imagine how it could ever sound pleasant or musical. But diminished chords are far from weird, obscure chords used for making dissonant sounding music. To hear the true power and potential of diminished chords, you need to hear them in context. You need to hear them in a chord progression. Bennie and the Jets by Elton John uses a G-sharp diminished chord. As you can hear, the G-sharp diminished chord allows this smooth movement from the tonic chord of G to the 2 chord of A minor. There was nothing stopping Elton from just shifting straight from G to A minor like this. But by bridging the gap with this diminished chord, we get a super smooth, satisfying climb up to the A minor chord. The tension of the diminished chord also injects a bit more energy into a chord progression. When we're on the diminished chord, the harmony sounds unresolved, in limbo, giving the music a sense of forward momentum because our ears want to hear that dissonant diminished chord collapse forward onto a more consonant chord. This is the beauty of diminished chords. They introduce tension that wants to resolve somewhere else, so they kind of project the song forward, they give it forward momentum, whilst also introducing drama and tension to the music. In Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis, a diminished chord is used to travel from the 5 chord, G, to the 6th chord of the key, A minor, simultaneously building some tension and also lending a super smooth way to travel between these 2 chords.
I stand up beside the fireplace, take that look from off your face, you ain't ever gonna...
If Oasis had just sat still on G for 2 bars, rather than using a G-sharp diminished chord to bridge the gap, we wouldn't get that same satisfying release when we land down on the A minor chord.
I stand up beside the fireplace, take that look from off your face, you ain't ever gonna...
Oasis have used their diminished chord on the sharpened 5th degree of the scale. But another common scale degree to build a diminished chord on is the sharpened 4th degree, the raised 4th. This is particularly common in jazz music. We can see it here in Hoagy Carmichael's famous Georgia on My Mind, made most popular by Ray Charles.
No peace I find. It's this old sweet song.
In this example, the diminished chord lifts us up from the 4th chord of the key up onto the tonic chord in second inversion, creating a classic silky smooth voice leading between the 3 chords. A more modern song to use the raised 4th diminished chord is none other than All Star by Smash Mouth. In the chorus, we climb up from the 4 chord, the B major, up to C diminished, and then down again. So rather than resolving the diminished chord upwards to get that satisfying climb that we've seen in other examples so far, here the diminished chord is just introducing some tension and then returning back down to the regular 4th degree. A similar use of diminished chords is the guitar riff from My Iron Lung by Radiohead. The end of the riff outlines a diminished chord, and then a C diminished chord, lending the song an unnerving quality. As we've seen in many of the examples so far, diminished chords are great for moving us from one chord to another, almost like a harmonic glue that sticks the chord progression together. And even if used briefly, even if used in passing, a diminished chord can really lend a cohesion to a chord progression. For example, during the bridge of When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish, this brief A-sharp diminished chord guides us up from the 4th chord of the key A to the 5th chord, B. They didn't have to add this in, they could have just moved straight from A to B, like this. but the brief diminished chord just gives that extra moment of interest and satisfaction when it leads us up from the 4th chord to the 5th chord. Likewise, in the chorus of Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel, this brief F-sharp diminished chord gives us an even sweeter resolution to the tonic chord, particularly because it's coupled with this bass movement of A natural moving to B flat. Once again, a very brief use of a diminished chord that doesn't have to be in there to make the song work, but its inclusion just gives the harmony an extra depth and richness. One of the best examples of diminished chords creating smooth harmonic motion is line clichés. A line cliché is when we take a chord, like F major for example, and then with each subsequent chord in the progression, we just adjust its highest or lowest note by a semitone. So starting with this F chord, we could then take the bottom note F and lower it to E natural, and then for the next chord do that again so the E natural becomes an E flat, resulting in this really smooth line between the different chords. And although all we were focusing on as we wrote that progression is lowering the lowest note in the chord, we've wound up with this chord progression that, as you can see, includes a diminished chord. And this is actually exactly the progression used in the verse of Life on Mars by David Bowie. A similar line cliché features in Elton John's Your Song. At the end of the chorus, we get this line cliché, and serving as one of the steps in that line cliché is this A diminished chord.
I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words.
So far, all of the examples of diminished chords that we've looked at have not been built on one of the diatonic notes of the scale, but instead been built on a chromatic note in between the scale degrees. For example, in Don't Look Back in Anger it was built on the sharp 5, and in Georgia on My Mind it was built on the sharp 4. But diminished chords don't have to be built on chromatic scale degrees. We can have a diminished chord without ever leaving the major scale. If we diatonically build a chord on the 7th degree of the major scale, then we will get a diminished triad. So in the scale of C major, we can naturally get a B diminished chord. The thing is though, in practice, we rarely ever see this diatonic diminished chord used. The only examples I was able to find of this diminished chord on the 7th degree of the scale were from classical pieces of music. For example, here in Mozart's Piano Sonata No. 5, we can see the C-sharp diminished chord in the left hand, which is the diatonic diminished chord on the 7th degree, because at this moment in the piece, we're in the key of D major. The reason that the diminished chord built on the 7th degree of the scale is such a rare beast is because it's generally considered to be an incomplete version of the dominant chord. In the key of C major, for example, the 7th chord of the key is this B diminished chord. The dominant chord of the key, the 5th chord, is this G7 chord. And as you can see and also hear, the top 3 notes of the G7 chord are just a B diminished triad. This means that both chords sound and function in a near identical way. They both introduce tension that wants to ultimately resolve back to the tonic chord of C major. The only difference is that I think most people would consider the G7 to be a more powerful resolution back to the C major. So the B diminished is kind of a lackluster version of that classic perfect cadence sound. But there is another diminished chord that we can play without using any chromatic notes, and this one is a lot more common. If we build a chord on the 2nd degree of the minor scale, the natural minor scale, that chord will be a diminished chord. And unlike its major scale counterpart, this chord is generally considered a lot more useful. For example, Maroon 5 used it here in their hit This Love. I've mentioned already that diminished chords are tense, they're dissonant, and they want to resolve somewhere else. But one of the great things about diminished chords, one of the things that makes them so versatile, is that they don't really mind where they resolve to. They just want to resolve somewhere. Because diminished chords are inherently unstable and dissonant, our ears are pretty content to hear them resolve to any nearby major or minor chord. particularly if each note of the diminished chord doesn't have to travel far to get to the resolving chord. Our ears will be relieved to hear that diminished tension collapse into a good old reliable major or minor chord. So, for example, this D diminished chord could resolve to C, could resolve to D, to F, to G, to A, to E flat, to F sharp. Of course, particularly depending on what key you're in, some resolutions will sound more final than others, but all of these resolutions offer a point of relief from the tension of the diminished chord. The Beatles actually show us two possible resolutions of this D diminished chord in their track Because. At the end of each verse, we get a D diminished chord. The first time, it resolves downwards to the tonic chord of C sharp minor. But at the end of the second verse, the D diminished chord now resolves instead to F sharp major, offering a different but also satisfying resolution. Love is old, love is new. Now, beyond this D diminished chord, Because actually features another diminished chord. However, you may not have spotted it because it's in disguise. It's this one, the D sharp minor 7 flat 5. As the name suggests, a D sharp minor 7 flat 5 is a D sharp minor 7 with its fifth flattened. But despite the name, if we look at the notes of this chord, we can see that we now actually have a D sharp diminished chord with a added 7th on top. So why isn't this chord just called D sharp diminished 7? Well, this is because when it comes to putting 7ths on diminished chords, things get a little confusing. A D sharp diminished 7 chord would actually be this chord. This is almost exactly the same as the chord we got in Because, but the 7th note, the top note here in the chord, has been lowered by yet another semitone. Unlike with major and minor chords, where there are only two types of 7th we can add, a dominant 7th or a major 7th, with diminished triads we can actually add a third type, the diminished 7th. This is because diminished chords have a lowered 5th, so by lowering the 5th we're actually opening up a little bit more space between the top note of the triad and the octave, so we can add another 7th note in. With any given diminished triad, we could add one of three types of 7th. We could add the major 7th, giving us a diminished major 7th chord. This is admittedly quite a rare chord, but it's good to acknowledge it because it effectively completes our set. The second type of 7th we could add to the diminished chord is a dominant 7th, giving us the chord we saw in Because, the minor 7 flat 5. This chord's technical name is actually half-diminished, and is usually labelled like this, with a degree mark with a little line through it. But because this symbol could be confusing to some players, many just describe this chord as minor 7 flat 5, as that is a slightly more self-explanatory way to play this chord. And of course, there's the third and final type of 7th that we can add to our diminished triad. It's the diminished 7th. And by adding the diminished 7th to the diminished triad, we get a diminished 7th chord, labelled either with a degree mark followed by a 7, or with the word dim followed by 7. Adding a diminished 7th basically just means adding a minor third on top of a diminished triad. And interestingly, because a diminished triad is already just two minor thirds stacked on top of each other, a diminished 7th chord is now three minor thirds stacked on top of each other. Diminished 7th chords are like the evolved form of regular diminished triads. They introduce more tension, more dissonance, and more possible options for resolution. Love is a Losing Game by Amy Winehouse opens with a sustained F diminished 7 chord. This instantly introduces a tension, a tonal question that needs to be answered, and we then get that answer when the F diminished 7 chord resolves onto the tonic chord of C major 7, setting the song in motion. God Only Knows by the Beach Boys features this C diminished 7 chord in the middle of its verse. This C diminished 7 chord resolves really neatly onto the E major chord.
The world will show nothing to me.
And this movement from E major 7 second inversion to C diminished 7 and then back to the E major second inversion lends a satisfying sway of tension and release to the middle of the verse. The chorus of We Are the Champions by Queen features two different diminished 7 chords. First, we get this F sharp diminished 7, which both injects some extra drama into the chorus, whilst also acting to guide us up neatly to the G minor chord. Then, soon after this, we get 2 bars of B flat diminished 7, bringing a tension that makes the return to the tonic chord of F all the more cathartic.
Champions, we are the champions.
Another song to use 2 diminished 7 chords is Michelle by the Beatles. In fact, the guitar is actually only playing these chords as diminished triads, D diminished and B diminished, but the diminished 7 is being introduced by the vocal melody. An interesting element to these 2 diminished 7 chords that we're getting here in Michelle is that they're actually inversions of each other. They're both using the exact same notes. Do you remember how I said earlier that a diminished 7 chord is just 3 minor thirds stacked on top of each other? Well, the consequence of that is that if you invert a diminished 7 chord, you just wind up with a different diminished 7 chord. If I take B diminished 7 and put the B on top, leaving D as the lowest note, it's not a B diminished 7 chord first inversion or B diminished over D. It's now just a D diminished 7 chord. This is just an odd quirk of the way that diminished 7 chords are built, but it's a good thing to be aware of when you're labelling your diminished 7 chords. So that's the diminished 7, what some people would call a fully diminished chord. But what about that other type of 7 I was talking about, the half-diminished 7, the minor 7 flat 5? Well, we've already seen the half-diminished chord, the minor 7 flat 5, at work in Because by the Beatles. But the Fab Four actually used it again later on the same album for this section of You Never Give Me Your Money. Here, the half-diminished chord, or what I'll call from now on the minor 7 flat 5, is acting as part of a 2-5-1 resolution back to the tonic chord of A minor. The verse of You Never Give Me Your Money takes us on a little harmonic journey away from the tonic chord of A minor. So this 2-5-1 progression acts really well to bring us home to that A minor tonic chord. In fact, the most common setting that you will find of a minor 7 flat 5 chord is as part of a 2-5-1 progression. We can see it here in the classic jazz standard My Funny Valentine.
With my heart.
And also here in Between the Sheets by the Isley brothers.
Keep you here, laying next to me.
Of course, due to the dissonant nature of diminished chords, it's very rare to find a piece of music that only uses diminished chords. So I've taken it upon myself to write this piece, which exclusively uses diminished chords. There are definitely plenty more examples out there of diminished chords at work in classic songs, so if you can think of a great example, do put it in the comments down below. And as always, a massive thanks goes to everyone who supports me on Patreon, including the names you see on screen right now, and Andre Sainz Diaja, Andy Deacon, Andrew Brown, Andrew Sussman, Austin Barrett, Austin Russell, Bob McKinstry, Whitney Parker, Cameron Allvilla, Colin Aiken, Chris Cabell, Christopher Ryan, David Rivers, Donald Howard, Dr. Darren Wicks, Elena Skorchenko, Eugene Leroy, FD Hodor, Greg Kabowski, Ilamo Latona, Hamish Brocklebank, Hernick Kutcher, Hugo Miller, Ivan Pang, Jake Fisher, James Kao, J.A. Kuckensparger, John Dye, Josh Vanderlin, Justin Vigor, Lee Lauritsen, Mark Ziegenhagen, Max O'Keefe, Melody Composer Squared, Melanie Schonert, Michael Vivian, Nancy Gillard, Nathan Lawrence, Nathaniel Park, Paul Muller, Paul Pazel, Peter Dunphy, Richard Bride, Roger Clay, John Kennedy, Steve Daly, Stephen Lazaro, Tim Beaker, Homer Aharoni, Trisha Adams, Tim Payne, Victor Levy, Vidad Flowers, Vladimir Kodakov, Volti, and Waylon Fairbanks.